Egg boil.
Egg boil, let's go.
Hey there guys, I am Dr. Anthony Gustin.
And I'm Chris Irvin.
Here with some top keto snacks, stuff that we eat usually. We're not gonna find any kind of dirty keto garbage on this. We don't eat crap, so this is what we eat, this is what we snack with, and that's what you guys are gonna get.
Yeah, so snacking on a ketogenic diet can be important, especially for people who are following the diet long term, or they're new to the diet and not quite in tune with, not eating in between meals yet. Finding the appropriate snacks that are not only keto friendly, but also high quality is very important.
Right. So if you're worried about dirty keto, lazy keto, any of this stuff, we have other videos about it, go check it out. But this is what we snack on whenever we need a snack, or what we recommend to people if they're struggling with keto when they first begin. So number one,
jerky.
Dried meat, baby.
Yeah,
dried meat. So this comes in biltong, which is a South African way of doing it. Sometimes I don't like how much vinegar they put on it. I'm more of like a traditional jerky fan. There are not a lot of sugar-free options. Check the labels on jerky because there's a lot of sugar on there. So we're actually looking into potentially doing a jerky because I don't think there are any good sugar-free jerkies. Do you know why they put sugar in it?
Actually, no, I don't.
Yeah, so fun fact. Companies put a lot of sugar in jerky when they're making it because the sugar makes the jerky retain water, not necessarily from a moisture when you eat the jerky, but more so from a weight perspective. And so they can use less meat and call the finished product more weight. It's a bullshit trick. So if you guys are wondering how to select your jerky, sugar-free is the best way to go. Biltong always is usually sugar-free. So there's what we do. Beef sticks is another good option to get jerky without the sugar or anything like that. So that's an option. New Primal I know makes really good ones, and Epic makes some bars that, be careful with their stuff. Some of it's really good, some of it's full of dates and cherries and weird stuff like that. So look at the labels if you're buying any type of dried meat snacks.
Yeah, especially for the flavored ones. A lot of like teriyaki flavored beef jerkies and stuff, a ton of sugar in that. And even if you go, say, to a gas station, you pick up a beef jerky stick, it might be 2 servings in there and you might think it's 1. So you look at the carb content and it doesn't seem that bad, but if there's 2.5, 3 times what's listed on the label, then it can become a problem.
Right. A great pairing with jerky are raw nuts. And so my fave are Mackies, Mac nuts, macadamias, fatty nuts, and amazing things.
I love Mac too, but I also love Brazil nuts. That's another big one for me.
Brazil nuts, tasty, big, nice pop. I think that my couple after that, pecans, walnuts.
Almonds
delicious.
Occasionally, I'll include those in there. But yeah, I think macadamia nuts and pecans, walnuts, Brazil nuts are the best. The most important thing that he said there though was raw nuts, because a lot of the nuts out there are roasted in our least favorite thing ever, vegetable oils. I was surprised at how frequently I would find products that contain nuts specifically that contain this. There's very rarely will you ever find a roasted nut that does not contain vegetable oils. Most times it's a combination of vegetable oils or they can't decipher.
Yeah.
So raw nuts, very important for this.
Right. The next one, which is super easy to do, is just avocado. So what I like to do is just have an avocado, sometimes put a little MCT or olive oil in the middle, bunch of salt and maybe some seasoning, and just eat it with a spoon. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a great time to have that too as a snack is like pre or post exercise. When you're doing it that way, where you're getting some healthy fats in there, you're also getting a lot of electrolytes with the sodium and the potassium that's found in the avocados. Great for around your training.
Right. Another easy one is just olives. So if you're gonna get these from the olive bar, like Whole Foods, I get them usually. Again, just make sure there's no weird oils in them. So even though they're a nice fatty thing already, olives, obviously you get olive oil from that. There's still a lot of sunflower oil or canola oil in the mixes. So be careful of that, the sign should say.
Yeah, and if my favorite type are the ones that are stuffed with the garlic in the middle. Those are definitely my go-to. But yeah, as always, food quality is super important with that. Make sure you're getting the good stuff when you're looking at olives.
Right. Hard-boiled eggs is a nice one. So I don't like to prepare these ahead of time. I just think that they're a pain in the ass to do it and never get them right. So if I'm out, I know like Starbucks has a protein pack now with some nuts and hard-boiled eggs. Super easy to get out now. So that's a really easy one, just to, again, salt it up. If I'm in an airport lounge, a lot of times they'll have like a buffet of really awful food, but they'll have a big thing of hard-boiled eggs. So Delta Lounge, Thank you for the hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, and if you are going to try to make them yourselves, a good strategy is to kind of batch cook that at the beginning of the week. Me and a close friend of mine, that's something we used to do all the time. Is just like Sundays we would just cook a ton of hard-boiled eggs, so they would be there in the fridge. We're on the go. We can grab a couple of them and out the door.
Oh, egg boil, huh?
Yeah, egg boil.
Nice tradition. Another one that I think is super underrated that I just got into a lot is Seaweed Snacks.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sea Snacks is the one company that I like, which they're the only company I know that doesn't put any weird oils in theirs as well. Some other ones, like some of their flavors have olive versus not, but a lot of other ones will have sunflower oil. Sea Snacks, ridiculous, and they kind of provide that missing crunch or snackability that you get with like chips or crackers in a ketogenic diet that when removed, a lot of people miss.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most common complaints we hear on keto is that like they're just not that crunch. And a lot of people will try to fill that void with pork rinds, but the problem with pork rinds is it's a very low quality food, usually fried in vegetable oils again. So the Seaweed Snack's definitely a better option.
Cheese, if you tolerate dairy, can be a good option, but let's not confuse what cheese is and what cheese isn't. So a lot of people eat cheese, they eat like these laughing cow things and cheese sticks and all this different stuff and Kraft cheese singles. That is not cheese, my friend. Yep. That is not cheese. You should get your cheese from like a cheese counter where they have a block of cheese that's cut up, that is wrapped in a cellophane that has a label on what the cheese is, preferably a raw cheese. Like that's how you should get your cheese. It should spoil. It should mold. It shouldn't sit in a bag for 3 months in a weird shredded color and form. That's not how you should get your cheese.
Yeah, and I think that's just another example of something we always talk about, which is just because something is keto friendly doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you, and cheese is definitely one of those things. Kraft singles and all of these cheese sticks, they might be low in carbs and they might have some fat and protein in them, but very low quality food. You want to make sure that you're getting the best when you're going with cheese.
Right. You can eat some veggies randomly if you want. Sometimes I'll just eat a stalk of kale or celery or cucumber. Thing is, the stuff doesn't fill you up, and so you could same with the Seaweed Snacks. I could eat 15 different packages of them, but vegetables have essentially just fiber and water in them, some negligible amount of nutrients, but overall no protein and no fat, and those are the things that are going to fill you up if you are snacking. So if you're snacking to reduce hunger cravings, not really a good choice, but sure, they're pretty keto friendly.
Yeah, and one thing you might be able to do with those, if you maybe you are a vegetable fan, you want to eat those as a snack, but you're not getting the satiety effects from them. You can try adding a little bit of fat to them. So maybe doing like celery with a nut butter, or doing like some sort of non-vegetable oil dressing with your vegetables would be another great way to do that. So, but veggies alone probably not going to be super filling. Right.
Another option is our Keto Bars, and so. Yes, this is a plug, obviously. Like I made them so I could snack on them. I ate 2 already today, so I don't care if you guys want to call me on that. I'm calling it because they're delicious and they're amazing.
Yeah, and bars are definitely they're one of the most convenient things to bring with you. That's why when you go into a gas station or you go into any convenience store, there's usually a huge protein bar selection. They're super convenient on-the-go snacks. The problem is that finding a good one is really hard. A lot of the ones, even the low carb ones, contain a lot of ingredients that I really wouldn't want to put in my body consistently. So the Keto Bars, that's why we made those. That's why we have those. So I think that's a great alternative.
Yeah, plug. We tested to make sure that they don't spike your blood sugar and they're super keto compliant, which I don't think any other bar is. I've tested it. Got another video if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, the plug is what it is. And I think going on to that, any type of ketones or MCT oil powder, another good option if you just want to shake up something to really curb the appetite and curb the cravings is a good choice as well.
Yeah, and we know that obviously liquid in general can to some extent curb your appetite. Putting something in your body and putting something into your stomach can help reduce appetite. But we know that ketones especially have appetite reducing capabilities. So using both MCTs, which can be converted to ketones, as well as exogenous ketone supplements, can be another great way to kind of get you through that snacking period in between meals.
Yeah. The last, the most enticing one. Just fast. Just don't eat. Sometimes when you want to snack, you can just not snack. A lot of times when I'm traveling, I do this. So yeah, I might be a little hungry or whatever, but I'll just work instead. Or I guess it's not that fun. People don't want to hear about that. But yeah, this is an option. You can just not eat. You don't need to snack. If you're hungry, you will live. Trust me on this.
Yeah, and I will say it's obviously not the most appealing answer, but I feel the best on a ketogenic diet when I'm not snacking in between meals. I think that it's a great way to make sure that you're keeping calories under control. It's a great way to, just kind of let your body digest what you're eating during your meals. So I actually really prefer to not do a whole lot of snacking. That's something that, maybe for somebody who's a beginner, that's a little bit tougher, but as you get more adapted to keto, it does become easier, and fasting can be a great option then.
Right. So, somewhat snacking, use it when you want. Egg boil.
Egg boil, let's go.
Do you guys have any other keto snacks that you eat, or questions of, hey, is this keto snack approved? Hit us in the comments below. Ask us any questions on Instagram. I'm at Dr. Anthony Gustin.
And I'm at The Ketologist.
And we'll see you guys next time.